Near AI. What did you ship this week?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? My name is Cameron Dennis. I am the host of What Did You Ship This Week? This is episode number 13, where we unpack different projects in the near ecosystem, primarily in the world of AI. Sometimes we get some crypto native ones trickling their way through, but this week we have about five different startups or projects that will be talking about what they're shipping. We normally treat this as a bit of a decentralized stand-up in a way, or engineering stand-up, where people are actually going to demo what they built in the last week. And yeah, we do this every week. So if you want to participate next time, just DM me on Twitter. You do have to be building in the near ecosystem to participate, but we can talk about what it means to actually start building in the near ecosystem as well. So without further ado, going to get started with Owen from Proximity Labs. Owen, how's it going?
Hey. Yeah, going well. How are you?
I'm living the dream, man. Wanted to kind of, you have not been on the show yet, I don't think.
First
We've had
time?
other people. Well, we're happy to have you. Have had other people from Proximity Labs join, but you've been a, character in the near ecosystem for quite a bit. Would you mind just introducing the audience about who you are, what you've been up to, what Proximity Labs is doing, and then what you shipped this week?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I've been around the near ecosystem for a while, but recently at Proximity. Proximity is like a research and development node within the near ecosystem, and we're focusing on chain signatures, which is signing transactions from near to other chains, and more recently shade agents. And yeah, that's what I'm here to talk about today. Some very shady agents. So yeah, as a bit of a precursor, if you don't know what shade agents are, they're essentially a framework to build what we believe to be the first truly verifiable, non-custodial, and multi-chain AI agents with no real single point of failure. So with current like Web3 agents that interact with blockchains, they fall in sort of one of two camps. The first is they're actually trustless and they're verifiable, and they do this by like sitting in a trusted execution environment or TEE. But the problem with this is that the TEE is holding a private key, and if this private key, if this TEE like goes down for whatever reason, the server goes down, the network that you're hosting the TE goes down, then the accounts belonging to that private key and all the funds just vanish, they're lost, and you don't know what the private key is anymore. So that's pretty bad. And then the second camp is that there's persistent accounts. So the funds remain there and they don't lose access to it. But to do that, that's like a centralized solution. So with shade agents, what we're able to do is be like non-custodial and maintain accounts by operating in a TEE and using like decentralized key management with Near's MPC network. And if one of the TEE instances goes down, then you can just spin up another and use the same decentralized key like accounts. And I just realized I'm not presenting, so I'm going to try and share my screen here, but we'll see how that goes. Let's just share a tab. Yeah, there we go. So what I shipped this week, we're bringing out some documentation soon, and we've just launched a new shade agent template. And within this documentation, there's a bit of like a high level explainer of how these works. So just to go over it, like we have these individual worker agents sitting in TEs, and they have access to like LLMs, so they can be AI agents. And they can, because they're in this like flexible Web 2 environment, they can access APIs and storage. And they each have this like separate random private key that is generated from like the TE's hardware. And each of the agents can like register in this agent contract, which is actually like a near smart contract. And this contract essentially verifies that it's running in a TE with an attestation, which is sort of like a signature to prove it's in a TE. And it has this code hash element, which verifies that, hey, I said I'm running this code, and look, I'm actually running this code. So you always know this agent framework is running what is expected. And once you're registered as an agent, then each of the workers have access to this like sign transaction method. And this is where all the magic happens, really, because this sign transaction method allows you to send any transaction, and this transaction can do anything, really. It could be a swap on Sui, it could be a function call on Solana, it could be like a send on Bitcoin, it could even be like an intent, like a near intent that you're signing to execute a multi-chain swap. And yeah, we've seen quite a few agents launching recently with this Shade Agent framework. You might have seen some of them. There was one by Yonder Labs recently, which created an agent to trade on like Kaito Mindshare. And then also you might have seen all over Twitter that there's this like Zora agent where you can like tweet to a post and it will coin you a Zora coin, I guess. So yeah, within these docs, we have sort of like a high level explainer, what's going on and how it's actually working. We also have a few ideas of what you can get building. Some of the key things we're focusing on is agentic protocols, which are essentially Web3 protocols that are smarter and more autonomous, and they're actually designed to be proactive. Like smart contracts kind of just sit there and wait to be executed upon, while these ones actively try and optimize things and do what is best constantly. Another thing we have here is that Shade agents are allowing smart contracts to verifiably access LLMs as well. And then there's a few other use cases there. And in this documentation as well, it's running through how to get started building a Shade agent. And that's linking to like our new template that we just released. And here's one I made earlier. The template is essentially just like an ETH price oracle that verifiably updates the price of Ethereum from like some off-chain data onto like an Ethereum smart contract. So what you need to do first is like fund this worker agent and fund this Ethereum account, and then go ahead and like register like we saw in the diagram. But I've already done all of this, so you can just click this button, which will update the price of ETH, which hopefully works here. There we go, successful. And then you can see like the transaction hash here. And why this is cool is it's verifiably updating the price of ETH, and I'm not having to set up this like large Oracle network like Chainlink that would take me probably years to make. I mean, I created this in like two days or something, and it's very little code. So if we just go into this template, where all the magic is happening is in this like send transaction API route. And what this does is just fetches the price of ETH, creates a payload for this transaction to set the price of ETH, and then makes the smart contract call to the agent to sign this payload with like the decentralized key management, and then puts that together and broadcasts it to Ethereum. And this function here, where it's taking a payload, you can have this payload, like I said, whatever you want it to be. So you can just duplicate this function, swap it out for whatever payload you want, and really, really build upon this framework and create some crazy things. I don't think I can share links here, but if you go to like near DeFi Shade Agent template, that's where you can get started and start building your agents. Yeah, that's everything I have.
Oh, and this is awesome. There's a lot here though. So just to kind of like super simplify it, a shade agent is really an agent that is verified within a TEE, and there's an attestation and like that the TE generates that goes on chain, correct?
Yeah, that's essentially it. The contract is just like verifying these agents so it can have like persistent accounts.
Got it. And then these accounts can call other accounts from any other blockchain. So it's like inherently multi-chain, correct?
Yeah, it has an account on basically whatever chain.
Got it. So if I'm putting these two things together, it's like a chain abstracted account that is powered by an agent that is verified on chain that can essentially make super smart contracts, which can like call external tools and data sources and everything else and sort of evolve as it gets used.
Yeah, I think you've summarized it pretty well there. I'm pretty wrapped up in all of the things, so explaining it's pretty difficult. But yeah, we're trying to focus on like agentic protocols here and properly smart contracts.
Yep. I mean, the marketing jargon will evolve, but like this is a very powerful primitive that kind of evolves smart contracts is kind of the way I'm seeing it. Am I getting it correctly?
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think there's so many things you can do that it's difficult to define it. Yeah, I think smart contracts is a good way to be. And yeah, LLMs in smart contracts being proactive.
Yep. This is wild. I mean, like this kind of excites me as much as I got excited learning about Ethereum in like 2016. Like it's like it's as big as like programmable money. It takes programmable money to like the next step. It's like intelligent programmable money, or like I'm not the marketing guy. I don't know how to frame it, but
Me neither.
definitely going to check out those docs. Please send them my way. We'll add them to the call notes. Is there anything else that you want to highlight before we move on to the next guest?
I guess we're going to be participating in Berlin Blockchain Week in like 2 weeks from now, where we'll be sponsoring some Shade Agent bounties. So yeah, if you're around, you can probably find the event on Twitter somewhere. Definitely stop by, learn a lot more, and yeah, maybe win some bounties.
Cool. I'm sorry, just one more clarifying question. Like anyone that's building an agent today can essentially turn their agent into sort of shade agent and verify it on chain. Like if it's doing anything sort of mission critical, like managing someone's money, you're going to want that to be verified. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, you can build in like, as long as you can create a Docker image for it, you can have it as a shade agent. And I guess like because of this verifying aspect and this access to the decentralized key management, you could do like non-crypto things here, but we're focusing on this crypto use case.
Yep, that makes sense. You got to come on next week or another time because this is going to keep like growing, I'm assuming. So
yeah, we got
send
a
me the
lot
docs.
of updates coming soon as well, with like making this all one-click deploy essentially.
Oh, amazing. Sweet. Well, Owen, thank you for joining. We'd love to have you back on, and going to move on to the next set of guests. We have Matt and Arto from, let me see, Arto, Matt. Welcome, welcome.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
Cameron.
Hey.
Hey, so it's not your first rodeo. You've been here before, but just as a quick recap, explain to us what is Asimov? What do you guys do there? And what did you ship this week?
Sure
I'm going to
thing.
let Matt take over from here.
Yeah, so I'll start off here. So hi, folks. I'm Matt. I'm co-founder of Asimov Protocol, and I'm here with Arto, who's our tech founder. You might know, who's very well known within the near community, and he's going to jump in sort of after me and sort of talk about what we've shipped recently on the protocol side. But first, I want to give you a quick update on what we've been building in the last 8 weeks. We've been a part of an accelerator program. When I was last on, I just said that we had been accepted into this DAGI accelerator. And that has been something that we were very proud to be a part of. There was 8 companies, I believe it was, chosen out of 300. So actually, let me just share my screen here. Yeah, these we were a part of that. So Asimov, in and of itself, let's give a quick recap here. So Asimov, we are building a decentralized marketplace for structured, verified knowledge. So not just information, but further up the kind of semantic tower to knowledge. So not just what something is, but why it is that, and the provenance behind it. So we've been a part of this accelerator for the last 8 weeks. That's why you haven't heard from us in a little while. And we've been building something. And what I'm going to introduce you to today is a thing called Positron. So Positron is our first commercial product that's built in the Asimov ecosystem. And it's kind of our way of really getting value into people's hands now, even while the full decentralized marketplace is being built. Right? So as I said, Asimov is designed to be a decentralized protocol for trusted, verifiable knowledge, a place where structured data becomes actually a public good. But like any network, it's got a cold start problem, right? No data, no utility. So Positron helps solve that. It lets people use Asimov with their own private data locally from day one. So Positron, you can think of it as your own private logic layer, right? And I'm going to give you a little bit of a demo about some of the stuff we've been working on. But think about it as a system that can connect your emails, your notes, your calendar, your Telegram chats, and build a local knowledge graph that AI can reason over. And it runs entirely on your device, no cloud, no uploads, no surveillance. And then when you're ready, you can enrich that private data with verified public knowledge from the Asimov marketplace. So things like LinkedIn, Crunchbase. Arto's going to show you a whole bunch of modules that we've been developing to bring in data from all over the internet, right? So while Arto and sort of his team have been working on like the core tooling on that, I've been working on some more sort of demo and prototype stuff yet. So we're not yet ready to release the whole thing. I'll give you a link to a form you can register as a interest to get notification when we're ready to go. But let's give you an example here. So I've got Claude Desktop here, and Claude Desktop. Now I might have shown you something a little similar to this previously. We've connected it to the Asimov MCP server that's running locally on my machine, and it has a number of data sets for demo purposes. So it has my personal Telegram data. It has some investor information, so that's taken from LinkedIn and Crunchbase. It has a bunch of gardening knowledge, just as another example case, and that's taken from YouTube transcripts. And it's got some stuff for the demo day. So we did a demo day as part of this accelerator. We did the demo day yesterday, so that was kind of the big finale of that 8 weeks. And I've got some information directly from there. And what I can do in Claude is I can interrogate it directly. So I can ask it, for example, which projects pitched at demo day. It will query the local knowledge graph and the demo day data set, and it will talk about the projects that pitched within that demo day, right? But what's really cool is when it starts interrogating both that information and personal information. So I asked it, do I have any connections to any of the projects? And it's actually gone ahead and searched through my Telegram data as well. And it's kind of joining that together to build a giant knowledge graph of both the Telegram data and the stuff that it's pulled out from the demo day, and brought up, what are the connections? So most significantly, quite obviously, as you might imagine, I am a connection to the demo day because I was presenting on the demo day. But it's found out that, my Telegram handle, it's found out various group chats I'm on related to the demo day and the accelerator, and projects we've been partnering with, for example. Also, things about the broader ecosystem as well to kind of give it sort of structure. And it has the provenance information. So where did it get this from? That's one of the key important parts. I used to work at Ripple, and I noticed there was somebody on there. So I asked, who was from Ripple, because I couldn't remember who it was. And it came back with the information there, who it was, and what their project is doing, and what they showed on the demo day, right? I looked and said, do I have any connection to him? And it sort of came back and said, well, you're both in a Telegram group together, right? So it's managing to combine this personal information of mine along with public information to kind of really give some good examples, right? And we have some, things that I could ask it here regarding sort of investors, for example. I can ask it, and it will go ahead and actually look through the knowledge graph data and bring out some information about investors that we've been working with, and can actually visualize that as well. So that's what we've been working on. That's Positron. And if you go to getpositron.ai, that's just literally gone live. It might still have a password protection on. If you still see that, just wait. I think that's been removed, but there might be a caching issue that's just stopping that for the moment. But you can register for early access to Positron. Now I'm going to hand over to Arto, and he's going to talk about what we've been doing with Asimov and the modules network side of things.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, so we're seeing pretty good early results from this approach,
I think you're still
meaning that we can... Oh, you can't hear me? Hold on. Let me do the...
I can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
it's just me.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've been seeing some good early results from this approach, meaning that we, as we make an MCP server available, where we unify all of the knowledge in your life, so we can bring it together, just like Matt said, in an extensible way, where we have this concept of modules, and anybody can write a module. These are all open source. I'll show that in a second. It means that through this MCP server, you can access the sort of intersection or conjunction of all the data in your life. And that, of course, is exactly why we are building these on knowledge graphs. So I have a background 20 years in knowledge graphs. And the exciting thing for me has always been that this is the way you can unify all the data in the world. And in this case, we are taking that personal. And just like Matt said, this presents another answer to the cold start problem, to the bootstrap problem for our knowledge market. There's two ways you could bootstrap it. You could kind of top down, go heavy on BD, and of course we'll be doing that. And on the other hand, bottom up, crowdsourced. And with Positron, we expect that will indeed incentivize hundreds of thousands of users to share some part of the data that they're curating, and in this way seed the market. And of course, the market is being built on Near Protocol, if somebody doesn't remember that. So let me show a little bit of the tech side of this, as we are just beginning to roll out the platform that underpins both the Asimov protocol as well as Positron. So the Asimov platform lives on GitHub. Let me just find the right tab, too many tabs. Somebody really should do a solution to that. Here we go.
Hey, Arto, would you mind sharing your screen? I think Matt's still sharing his. There we go.
Yeah, mine's coming through. So Asimov platform lives here. But for now, I'm gonna specifically go to look at the modules part. So this is GitHub/Asimov-modules. And as you can see, we got a great many of them in the works. And of course, once we have a token, then we'll incentivize even more. So just to look at a couple of these are published. Basically, the list of modules can also be found on crates because we write in Rust, of course. And here you can see that there's 16 published modules at the moment. We are rolling out several every week. And these do a great variety of functions. For example, on the one hand, of course, pulling in Telegram data, very important. On the other hand, you want to pull in your Apple contacts, your Apple Mail, things like that. On the other hand, you want to make sure that your local LLM knows everything about who you are, where you are, what time it is. And then, of course, there are data sources. And the current situation with data sources in the world is kind of absurd, meaning that, as you all know, a great many important websites are paywalled, whether we're talking about the New York Times, famously or infamously, or whether we're talking about Twitter, say, or X these days. So it means that getting the data in some cases is quite difficult, and so a whole ecosystem of scraper services has developed. And what I'm showing here at the top are 3 of the leading services for basically scraping any website out there. These services all have massive scale. They have millions of IPs around the world. They run full desktop browsers so that they can actually get, they can see everything with JavaScript enabled. And it's just insane infrastructure. So this is kind of the ridiculous state of the data ecosystem today. Obviously, this will not do as we move towards our AI-powered future. We really all want structured data. So for the moment, though, the way we get data like this is, let's just have a look here. The way we get it is that we go through, for example, something called SERP API to get search results. You can't really scrape Google anymore these days yourself. They even went JavaScript only on the results earlier this year. But you can get all the search results through services like this. And these are even legally sound because, as it happens, Meta and X both sued some of these in the last year and lost. So any public data is fair game for scraping. So what we are making available then, the way that the platform is composed, is a great many modules like this, where you can just you can enter any kind of URL, and we're gonna fetch that, we're gonna turn that into a knowledge graph. So basically, the fetcher pulls the raw data, and the importer turns that into a knowledge graph in so-called JSON LD linked data form. And this then can be brought into conjunction with all the other data in your life. So that's the structure of an Asimov module. And of course, for this kind of services, you do pay. So you need an API key for some of these modules. I just want to show the most recent module. So I published this just prior to the call. This is the NEAR module, where we are making available for Claude Desktop and anything else speaking MCP, we are making available the NEAR protocol blocks and transactions. And of course, this is utilizing the excellent NEAR data API from well, Eugene the Dream. So this is working. If one just installs that and gives a URL that begins with the NEAR protocol, then you can indeed add that to the mix. Well, depending, Cameron, on time, I could skip a live demo as you like.
You can do live demo, just make it super quick because we are writing up.
Cool. So then let's switch over here to my terminal, and I'll just show the sort of obvious step here, which is let's say that we, for example, with the NEAR fetcher, Well, as you might know, if you've been using that API, it's super fast because it's edge cached, so you can just pull all the blocks super easily like that. So that's the idea behind the platform. We make these standalone binaries that are useful even without the wider platform, and they have no dependencies. They compile into a single binary, can be deployed anywhere, super simple. So the platform is a collection of such tooling. So I think I'll leave it at that, and back to you, Matt.
Great. Matt, is there anything else you want to add? Nope. All right. Well, Arto, actually, real quick, both of you, I'm gonna bring you back on if that's cool. Hey, just so for like the people who might not be data scientists out there, just to kind of super simplify kind of what you're doing is like you have all this unstructured data from Telegram, from your Twitter, from your emails, photos, whatever it might be. And then you're going to be like a user will be able to upload that to the Asimov protocol. The Asimov protocol, correct me if I'm wrong, does it clean it? Does it clean this data and structure it properly? Or like, how do you actually turn unstructured data to structured data to make it relevant?
Right. So that's using LLMs to do that, and doing that locally. So in some of the proof of concept stuff and some of the early stuff, we're using hosted LLMs, but we're kind of skating to where the puck's going to be with local LLMs, and so we you can utilize you can select. There's actually modules for different LLM providers. So whether it's OpenAI or Anthropic or whatever, or Olama, so you can do it locally. So yeah, so it's taking the unstructured data and converting it into not just structured data but semantic information. So it's pulling out relationships between the data within there.
Got it. But sometimes these models hallucinate. So assuming they do or don't structure it properly, I mean, I guess we could dive deeper into this over a different meeting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how do we? It's a fascinating problem set because I'm curious about privacy. I'm curious about hallucinations. These are pretty important pieces to address.
Yeah, Cameron, there's major things to talk about, like constrained decoding. So semantically and syntactically constrained decoding, that is how you eliminate hallucinations. But this would be pretty techy and would take some time to talk about.
Okay. Maybe we just block out a bigger time for Asimov in the future because we do have to move on. But guys, thank you so much for joining. Is there anything that people should be checking out besides signing up for the say beta?
That's just the main thing at the moment. Get positron.ai and put in your details there, and yeah, check back. We'll be back on no doubt again. So yeah,
absolutely. Thanks,
awesome, guys. Thank you for joining. Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right, Kirill, how you doing?
Hi, Cameron. Doing great. Sorry.
A popular guy.
Yeah.
Popular guy. Yeah.
Doing amazing. Thank you.
Good, man. So for those who don't know, Kirill's been on the show before. We worked together on a few really cool projects. He's got, I'm not going to spill the beans. Kirill, if you can, just quickly introduce yourself. What is Datrix and what did you ship last week?
Yeah, thanks. So my name is Kirill. Hi, everybody. So I work for Datrix. We are building different kind of agents for enterprises. And so I've been here a couple of times, presented first agent builders, and then used an agent builder. We've built the travel assistant agent, and today I have like just a couple of small updates in comparison with previous speakers, like the small update for travel assistant and one utility tool for the agent's discovery. So probably I can share my screen. So I will start with a quick utility tool, which called the ATA Agent Card Generator. So it is a repository available on the GitHub that everybody can download and use. And what it is doing, it just simply generate the agent-to-agent card plus metadata JSON for your Near AI Hub agent. based on your code. So just quick demo here. I have my agents builder agent. I can just ask this CLI tool to generate the description for this agent. It will get it from the Near AI Hub. It will intelligently process the source code of this agent through the large language model without using the files that are not in the imports or not in the program, or only the useful files, and it will generate the agent-to-agent card according to the new Google specification that was released in April, and metadata JSON, which is used now by Near AI Hub. So on here, it generates text, it generates your description, and generates your everything. And agent-to-agent card is a little bit bigger. It also states the different capabilities of this agent. Like it can generate code, it can update agent code, it can create secrets, etc., etc. And why it's important? Because so there are a lot of different agents available on the internet. There are a lot of agents available on Near AI Hub, and we need a proper discovery system to search for the agent with certain capabilities. And generation of the card for each agent, it is a first step for the good discovery system, which was created as a standard in agent-to-agent protocol by Google, and Near has its own.
Yep. Just as a quick aside, Kirill and I started working on this because I don't know if anyone else has seen either the Near Agent Hub or any other agent hub. It's a nightmare to figure out, is this agent actually doing the thing that it's supposed to do, or even tagged with the right things, or the developer wrote their proper description, and people around the world are writing these descriptions in different languages, and there's no standardization. And so I think that this is absolutely the very first step of automating discovery. So, Kirill, this is amazing. This is being added to every agent in the Near AI Hub, correct? We are in the process of.
No, we're in the process. We are waiting for the hub update, and after that, I think it will be added. But right now, it's available on GitHub. If you are lazy enough, as I am, to write the descriptions yourself, you can just use this tool.
Yeah, and even if you are lazy and don't write the descriptions, you still, even if you write a good description, it probably sucks and people can't find it. So thank you for building this. This is so important.
Thank you. One more update, really quick. The travel assistant agent right now became better. So now it supports multi-city itineraries. For example, we can provide multiple dates.
Hey, Kirill, do you mind just taking a step back? What is this? Why are
Yeah, sure. So travel use case for agents, it's one of the biggest, I think, because everybody hates to search for cheap tickets or to do this filtering, and different aggregators are bad into giving you the enough capabilities or to find ticket that you want. And there are a bunch of different applications. Every airline has its own. Sometimes they are bugging. You spend a lot of time, at least me, I spend a lot of time on booking tickets and to understanding if I've booked a baggage or not, if there are any Wi-Fi on board or not, etc., etc. And agent here can give you really, really cool way how you can do this and fast. And of course, you can pay for that in crypto using Near, and just in one click using your Near wallet.
That's awesome.
So Yeah, and we've built this travel assistant. It's available on the Near AI Hub. It's not giving you the real ticket yet, but we are working on that. Just it is a bureaucracy, not the tech part. But so one important thing that we added last week was support for multi-city itineraries. Now you can provide like as many segments as you want, and we also improved the filtering capabilities for this agent. So let me find another tab where it's, yeah, here it is. So for example, I can not only ask for like multiple cities and dates, but I can also ask like, can you find flights with the Wi-Fi available on board? And we have enough data for that, so we can. So here, for example, we can see that the Wi-Fi is available on board on these flights. You can also filter by leg space. You can find like tickets where like extra leg room, but in the economy class. You can like in text ask like, give me tickets with the early departure or departure before like lunch, and it will filter and present you the best relevant result for you. And then you can just book it and fill passengers' data and pay for it through within your wallet.
Pay within your wallet. This is the crypto is becoming real, man. It's finally it's just about here. This is super exciting. Is there anything else you want to close up with?
No, I think that's it.
Awesome, Crow. Well, stoked to have you on in the future. Appreciate it. All right, Peter, welcome. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to be here again. So thank you for having me. And yeah, so today I'm going to, I'm here in my studio, home studio with a keyboard here, and I'm working on this WebAssembly music project, which maybe some of you have heard of. It's been on Nears since the very beginning. And it's normally what I do is to create music in the web browser, and using this WebAssembly technology, you have small WebAssembly synth instrument. But what I want to do now is to use this synth in GarageBand, which is, or really any other kind of similar music applications that you have, desktop applications that typically music producers use. Maybe not so much GarageBand, but you can also use this in Logic too. So, but here we can see that we have some built-in instruments like this piano. But what I want to do is to now use this WebAssembly music instrument. And the recent addition here is this plugin called WebAssembly Synth that we have here. And here we have the possibility to load a WebAssembly file, because this brings a WebAssembly engine into GarageBand, so that you can actually load these WebAssembly modules, and they can be the instruments for you. So right now we have no instruments loaded, so there are no sound here. We can see that we could have loaded it from the local file systems. These are really small files, but what we want to do is actually load it from an NFT. Oh, I'm not presenting. Sorry. I have to share this again. Sorry about that. That was really...
Hey, no worries.
So let me share the entire screen, and I really have to go through this again, because yeah, what I was showing you was GarageBand here, and what I showed in the beginning was that here it was this built-in instruments of the GarageBand. It was this electric piano that you can, you have lots of instruments here built in, but what I wanted to do is to use this WebAssembly synth that we have here. So just forget about, let's call it the WASM synth, and let's see here, because here we can load WebAssembly file. But we don't want to do that now. We could have loaded these files. They're really tiny, as you can see. It's like 33 kilobytes for this one, 50, very tiny files. And but what we want to do now is to actually load this from an NFT. So let's go here, because on this page you have, this is actually backed by an Near account. So this is a smart contract called WebAssemblyMusic.near. And using Web4 technology, it also has a website. So, and all these NFTs, you can see there are owners, mostly me, some others too. But here we have some music. So that is stored on the web. So, because these are so small, these ones. So many different tunes here, and what we want to do is we want to use the sounds from this song here. And to be able to use those instruments, we can see that this is NFT number 2. Let's go here, and this is a totally different website. This is this one called AriseCredits.near, and this one has AI chat and which tools are available. And let's ask about that, because what we really want to is to interact with this contract called WebAssemblyMusic.near. But here, luckily, we see that we have a tool called Inspect Contract. We can even select another contract for the tools. And so let's use WebAssemblyMusic.near for tools. And let's see how that goes. And now we have set it to WebAssemblyMusic.near. And what tools are available now? What can we do? And we have some functions here. We can store the signing key, and we can also get the locked content. And we do want to get the locked content. Actually, you can see this is another capability of this JavaScript in Rust project now, that you can go in here and you can, when you upload this JavaScript contract, you can also have some AI tools exposed through that contract, and with the descriptions on how to use it. So here you see that store signing key. You also see that for get locked content here. So and with this description, and even a client implementation, because it can actually also execute code on the client side using the same JavaScript engine that is used in a smart contract. So it's a safe execution environment in your browser. And if we look here, back in GarageBand, we see that it asks for an access message to that token. So I would like to ask for that. Can I get the access message for token with ID 2? And I will ask Near AI about that. And it says it wants to store my signing key first. And here we got a message that we can actually copy, and we can paste it in here. And then we press this button. And there was maybe some space in the end here. Let's try that. And now we can hear sound. And we can play all the sounds from this song that we just had. So drum kit, for example. And we can play, we have lots of. And this one here is maybe my favorite. Okay, so, But yeah, let's check. Do I have access to another token? Do I have access to the token with ID 4? And let's see what I get then. I'm not the owner, and that's also what we can see here. That's another one. So yeah, so that's actually that's it. So I guess yeah.
This is definitely the first time we've had any live performances on this show. So really, this is so cool. Where do you want to take this project next? Like, what is the next chapter?
Yeah, so this is of course going to be polished even more. I want to open up for this part where you can expose the smart contracts. Expose the AI tools through smart contracts is something
To showcase.
I want to evolve even more. But for the music part, I think the most exciting thing is because this WebAssembly music is written in code. And what I want to do is, of course, then, since we have AI that is fully capable of writing good code, it's writing most of this code nowadays. So why shouldn't it also create the music? So this is, and then also create instruments like this that you can use in such audio applications. And that's the cool thing with this thing I just shown you now, that you can actually use this these instruments that are made in the browser that will soon be made by AI. You can use them in any kind of music production app. So yeah,
So
that's
AI is not only going to create the music, but it's also going to create the instrument in a way, and like
absolutely,
maybe
because
even buy and sell these instruments with each other. And okay,
yeah, exactly, because what you saw right now was actually was that these instruments plugins, they were stored on the blockchain on here, and these are also written in. That's kind of the main thing with this WebAssembly, that all the math, all the code for rendering these instruments live, it lives in this single small WebAssembly binary that is stored on chain, and now is kind of a content that is accessed through an NFT.
this is wild. It kind of is hard to like piece out what the future is actually going to look like here, when not only AI is creating music, trading music, like becoming its own influencers. I don't know if it's going to fully mimic the same sort of practices humans have, but it has all the tools too. So
yeah, I think we have to take it one step at a time. I think the first step for this will be that me as the creative person will still be the creative person. I'll just have I don't have to write all the code that I do today for writing this music, for writing this instrument. So it will be kind of a very powerful tool for me as a creative person to just use my natural language and get the creative content that I want to produce. So yeah.
And this is all open source. Like everyone can kind of dive into this today.
Absolutely. These are my projects that you find under my GitHub profile. So they are, so you will easily find them there. I tweet a lot about it as well. And yeah.
Cool. Well, be sure to follow Peter on Twitter or X, and we'll drop your GitHub as well in the sort of call notes. Just real quickly though, for everybody, what is your handle on Twitter?
It's my last name and dash P. So Solomonsen and underscore P. That's it.
Great. Awesome, Peter. This is fantastic. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you again for having me, and for the opportunity to present this. So
yeah, and also I'm a musician. Can I play with this myself? Like, is it ready for that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you already have this browser version, so this has been around for years, and you can connect your MIDI keyboard to it and play with the instrument. So it's all there. I have several videos on YouTube where you can see where I demo that. So there's many different sounds. And one of the really exciting sounds I would like to come back and show another time is this kind of simulations of real instruments like string instruments and flutes and percussive instruments. So if you're into that, definitely then we have a lot to talk about. And
the AI orchestra is coming. The AI orchestra. All right, Peter, we got to move on to the next speaker. But thank you so much for coming. And this next one is a recording. So Neurweek team, I'm relying on you to pull this thing up. And this is from Rhea and Bita Protocol, or Bita
it helps you on what you can do. Okay, instead of doing the
sorry, I'm pausing it. For those who don't know, Rhea is the premier, probably one of the premier DeFi marketplaces, DeFi lending markets, swaps, got an AMM, got stablecoin pools, has pretty much everything. And I believe they are currently going to demo a agent that you can interact with all these functionalities in natural language. I'm pretty sure what that is. I have not seen this yet, so best. I hope I'm right. I'll let the Escobar from their team
over here. I'm here to showcase or show you what can be done with an AI agent that has been integrated on top of Rhea. First, you need to connect your wallet before you start, and it helps you on what you can do. Okay, instead of doing the direct swapping, I will just, you can see I have like 0.29 here. As you can see, that will be result in amount of like 48 million Black Dragon token. But then now, instead of swapping directly, I decide to use an AI agent. But beforehand, I'll ask him on what I can do on top of Rhea. Then what is the hottest meme on Rhea itself? Well, the data are going to show what is the most interesting token, but then as we can see, there's Persian Black Dragon is part of the meme token has been mentioned there, with numbers of TVL included and also volume 24 hours included. So I want to swap 0.1 near to Perch. Yep, transaction in progress. Yep, the price impact less than 0.01%, estimated amount. Would you like to proceed? Yes, please. Okay, and you review the transactions amount 0.1 near. It's going to purge, so approve. It's signed transaction. Yep, and transaction success. You can see now there is you can also see the swap transaction was successful. Here are the details, including the transaction hash. And then you successfully swap 0.1 near to purge. If you need further assistance, feel free to ask. What is Rhea point? Yeah, then the AI agent will be able to guide you on what Rhea point is going to look like, what you can do to earn points, user point, last liquidity point, trade point. This is something that I earned in the last minute. Then rules, what you can do to get the points and to accumulate more points based on the trading volume, based on the supply assets that you do, and so on. So this is just the beginning of an AI agent on top of Rhea. Enable user to swap with the AI agent or even supply assets on the AI agent. But more than that, we are going to support a vault with an AI agent where user will be able to just leave their assets on top of Rhea, and then the AI agent going to help them to manage their position based on the market volatility. So yeah, please wait and stay tuned for the upcoming versions of the upgrade on the AI agent.
Escobar's not here to answer my questions, but I'm actually quite familiar with Rhea. I have way too much money locked in there. And I'm very excited to actually use this tool because managing my positions is not always super easy. It takes me, I manage my money about once a week, and I'm always on this page and I'm always clicking buttons. So doing this in natural language, I think, is going to be a huge unlock, not just for me, but definitely for people who don't understand DeFi. I think it's going to be really important. So I love to see this. We'd love to have the Rhea team on here in person sometime. But, that's it for this episode. We've had insane wide variety of projects. Like this really, I think, shows the sort of breadth and depth of the Near ecosystem. Everything from verifiable agents that can transact on any chain to knowledge graphs that are cleaning your data and making it actually turning data into knowledge, to AI orchestras, to trading agents. This is all really, really exciting, and what a time to be alive. I mean, being part of this generation that we see the sort of humans becoming the second smartest species on Earth is pretty crazy. And so let's make sure that humans are still somewhat in control or somewhat have a say in this future world. And this is the show where we're going to be unpacking kind of these evolutions every week. So join us next time. We will do this every single week. And if you want to participate, DM me on Twitter. My DMs are always open. And thank you again to all the participants, especially the Neurweek team who hosts this every week. It's really late for them in Europe right now, so they do this every week on their own time. So appreciate it. All right, guys, that's it for the hour. Hope to see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Neurweek.